Alright, y'all. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think Marvel Rivals cooked? Let's talk about it. This patch is probably the most anticipated patch since the game's release, and it did not disappoint in that regard. It changed a lot. Some changes could be regarded as good, some not so much. Some in the middle, I guess. I'm not sure if Blade is good or not. I'm gonna come to that conclusion myself once I play him more. What I am sure of is there was a lot of people who were pissed at the BP and Cap changes in particular. You can't just get rid of Captain America's animation cancel and then give him no compensation. That's just, you can't do that to that character. And me as a Cap player, I was upset as well.
Let's go. Fucking bitch.
See you later, loser.
Fucking bitch.
For the new changes we got, I'm indifferent, okay? It's a new way of playing Cap. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to keep playing Cap. But for the Black Panther community, they are feasting this patch. They did some really good things to this character, and I know that's also going to piss off another set of players in the community. We'll get to that later though. But remember guys, your voice matters in this community. If you keep complaining about your character being bad, we might just get another Luna skin, and that always fixes your problems. Only Luna though, not Hulk. He doesn't get shit. But back on track. Rivals has gotten rid of the alt botting problem completely. It is force neutral into the game. And I'm going to say this right now. A lot of people are getting exposed by this whole neutral thing and getting exposed for just being actual alt bots. Everywhere I look, Rivals discourse is just an absolute war zone. And to be honest, I'm here for it. I dropped this game because of the alt slop. I stopped playing comp because of it. And now that it's gone, and now that I could just actually rely on my character's kit to get things done, I might actually just start playing comp again. That's how good of a change this has been for me.
We do not care.
Who cares about me playing comp? What really matters is what I mentioned at the start of that rant. Exposing the player base. There's a large sum of players that just played for alts, and I can't really fault them for it. They were practically incentivized to play like that. Your character's entire kit goes from how many advantages can I create for my team to how fast can I get my alt to win. And that shit is just so boring. Especially when the team actually knows how to rotate alts properly and your team isn't, you're just practically cooked. So now that isn't how the game is played, oh boy, it's looking tragic for some players out here. It's creating such a rift in the community apparently that there's another support strike on the way. And for the players who are actually going to participate in the support strike, y'all gotta stop. Seriously. Yes, it does suck that the devs might be drooling all over themselves at the studio when it comes to refining certain aspects in this game. There's no reason why 6 support characters can get banned in a single comp game. That's just outrageous. Mind you, double bans are still in the game too. But at the same time, your role has been the most prevalent factor in teamfight wins since the beginning of the game. And now that people have a chance to, not experience the game like that, I mean, unfortunately, some people are going to come out of their cave and start talking as much shit as they can to support players. And like I said, I'm here for it because a lot of players that have been getting exposed play that role. Now, hold on. Pump the brakes. I'm not just trying to dogpile on supports, even though I think they'll get exposed the most. Tanks and DPS are about to get the same treatment, especially DPS players. Since you can't rely on your ult and support ults anymore, the exposing will come from DPS players' poor mechanics. And at times, I'm guilty of having poor mechanics myself. If you have good mechanics like aiming and positioning, it'll take you very far, especially in comp. But a lot of DPS players actually don't have this at all. A lot of them will just stay main, eat a bunch of damage, and wonder why they're not getting healed. Taking angles, coordinating dives, and holding little pockets of space will always be the superior playstyle. But alt botting is way easier, and it was encouraged. Now that it's gone, trust me, you're about to see a lot of DPS players not get as many final blows as they used to. Fights are now going to be decided on which team capitalizes on the other's mistake in the neutral. DPS do that the best with their insanely high damage and mobility. So we will see how good us DPS players claim to be. We got the biggest egos in the community for a reason, so it's time to put our money where our mouths are and see how well we do in the neutral. I'm not going to talk about tanks. I kind of just flex between DPS and support, so I was just going to focus on those two. So with all that being said, did they cook? The answer for me is no. They did not cook. There's still the same Marvel Rivals janky nonsense in the game. I got CC'd by a support character, and then I got CC'd by a sniper. Right. That's okay. Gotcha. Stuff like this is making me say they did not cook. But they also didn't burn down the house and ruin the game. This patch is kind of like baby steps. I don't think it was the great leap forward some people were anticipating, but it is a step in the right direction. There's still plenty of issues in Rivals, like balancing heroes. There's no reason a character should run rampant for like a whole season because you want players to play the new hero. Along with that, balanced heroes need giga buffing so they stand a chance in certain metas. White Fox, in my opinion, is a balanced hero. She works really well in this meta, but what I am afraid of is people are going to complain that she does not heal enough, and then they're going to buff her heals on not only her left click but also her ult. They're going to turn her into a slop fucking heal bot because this role has the most characters that make the most money for NetEase. So that player base kind of has a lot of power because Jeff prints money, Luna prints money, Invis prints money, and best believe White Fox is probably about to be in that group as well. That's just a fact. They want their healers to heal. That's why they reworked Jeff and his ult, and that's why they buffed Invis's ult a while ago. It was so nice to be able to kill through an ult. Then it just buffed it. It's like, why? Anyway, there's a couple more things I love to get into, but that's for another video. These are my first impressions of the patch. Everything, of course, is subject to change as we get more familiar with it. Hopefully we can get more changes like this to the game because there are some other glaring issues with Rivals, but I believe the biggest one has been addressed. We as a player base are now solely reliant on our mastery of the characters we select, opposed to being reliant on the strongest part of their kits. If you liked the video, give a brother a like, maybe even subscribe. Also, don't be afraid to drop a comment if you agree or disagree with any of my points. Just be respectful and we can talk about it. Peace out.